Good afternoon. My name is Art Alvarez at Mortgage Works, where we have the answers and they're on the house. Should I buy a home now? And if I do, should I buy new construction or an existing home, in particular, a fixer upper? Well, let me first give you an update on where the market conditions are, at least in most markets. Inventory is growing. It's not back to normal, but it's certainly larger inventory than we've seen the last couple of years, about 4.5 months worth of supply based on the current sale rate. Homes listed for sale are on the MLS for a longer period of time. The days on market is getting more extended. This is giving a buyer a little bit more leverage in negotiating an attractive agreement with that seller. That oftentimes may include some concessions, either right off the price or a credit from the seller to pay for buy downs, closing costs, and so forth. Now, one other thing I want to point out before answering the question is I recently attended a presentation by a successful real estate broker here in the Coachella Valley. She presented a chart that reflected by year since 1950 U.S. home prices each year and whether they went up for the year or down for the year. And what's interesting is this chart depicted that only 7 years out of the last 75 was there a net decrease in home value in that particular year. Only 7 out of 75. What that tells any of you who've been waiting on the sidelines to buy because you want home prices to fall or mortgage rates to fall or both, that's a fool's game. I think it's time to quit waiting, time to get out there because the data would show you're probably losing out on wealth creation by continuing to be on the sidelines. Now, with that said, should you buy new? Should you buy existing? And in particular, a fixture? Well, pros and cons to both. New, obviously, it's a brand new home. Everything's nice and shiny. Everything presumably is going to work great, last for a long time. You might have that chance to upgrade it and to some degree decorate it through the builder's design center. But that home is probably going to be at a premium price. Now, to offset that, builders, unlike existing home sellers, are much more tuned in to financing as a incentive to get more buyers to buy their home. So they're going to offer you a lot of incentives, closing cost credits, temporary buy downs, permanent interest rate buy downs. So all that's very attractive, but understand you're probably paying for that indirectly through the price of the home. In other words, you're not going to get a rock bottom deal on that home given that it's new construction. Now, on the existing homes sales side, I think you have some opportunity, certainly to negotiate maybe a better price or certainly a seller credit to pay for those same kind of incentives like closing costs and so forth, temporary buy downs and permanent rate buy downs. Now, I would take it a step further. If you're a first time home buyer, maybe you're in the millennial generation, you have some skills in terms of refurbishing a property or repairing it or enhancing it, or maybe you have access to some tradespeople who can help you with that. Buying a fixer upper can be a very good way to get into home ownership. There are some properties out there that, in a lot of cases, the fixing up that needs to be done is primarily cosmetic. In that case, go with a minimum down payment program, even if you've saved up more. Conventional first-time homebuyer, 3% down. FHA, 3.5, 5% down. Use a program like that, freeing up the rest of your capital to use for those improvements. Now, if you want to go something more extensive, the mortgage industry has several renovation programs that we have access to that can help you. Fannie Mae has a Homestyle renovation program. Freddie Mac has a choice renovation program. Um, I have a lender who offers a pool plus program where you buy the home and can also finance the cost of a pool. FHA, repair escrow FHA, limited 203K FHA, standard 203 FHA, 203K FHA. These are all renovation programs that can help you buy a fixer upper, get it fixed up, and then have something that's going to be to your liking to move into. And then lastly, for those of you who want to get more into the professional real estate investment strategy, there are fix and flip programs that we have access to where you can get financing to buy the home, do the improvements with the intent that once they're done, you're going to then relist the property and sell it for a profit. So again, that is another program we have to offer. If you're a first-time home buyer, you'll need to go slow. It's pretty complicated. We can help you with that. You're going to want to make sure you get a contractor lined up in advance before you start looking at a home. And then finally, if you're an existing homeowner and you decided you want to sell and you've seen this big increase in your equity, don't forget we have a variety of equity loan options that can help you do those improvements to your existing home to add even more value to it than the amount you've already achieved through the appreciation we've seen in the last couple of years. So my name is Art Alvarez with Mortgage Works, where we have the answers and they're on the